Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Today, I will be presenting a workshop on job search strategies by MCF Employment Services. This presentation highlights the do's and don'ts of searching for a job in Canada. We will be talking about the methods that you can use, where to find jobs, and some strategies to help you navigate the job search market. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional unceded territory of the Wolastoqey, whose ancestors, along with Mi'kmaq and Passamaquoddy nations, signed friendship and peace treaties with the British Crown in the 1700s. In this presentation, we will talk about how and where to search for jobs. There are three different avenues that you can use. Number one being job bank sites, number two being employer sites, and number three being recruiters. We will also talk about what it means to be strategic when you're searching for a job. So, using alternative titles, being selective. And lastly, an aspect of job search that usually gets ignored, which is networking. And then some final thoughts at the end to help you navigate the job search market. So, to begin, where can we find jobs? Jobs are available on job bank sites, and these are used for general searches in your area. So, for example, there are websites created where employers can post about job opportunities for what they have available in that specific location. Secondly, it can be employer sites. Use these for a more specific search. These are sites for a specific company, a specific organization, a specific institution, where under the careers tab, they will have job opportunities that are available for that specific employer. Lastly, we have recruiters. Some employers actually will hire a recruiting company to find the right person for the available position. And for recruiters, they usually get in touch with you based on your online presence on websites such as LinkedIn. Why do we have job search sites? The main job searching method is online job boards and applications, making up about 60% of the process. The reason these sites exist is because the professional world has moved a lot more to the online virtual side of the job hiring process rather than the in person side of things. That's why a lot of the jobs are posted online. Now, there are three different types of job search sites. We can have a traditional job board, for example, job boards such as the ones that connect job seekers with employers by listing job openings across industries. They're very general. Users can search by location, job title, or company and upload resumes for an easy application. A lot of you will be familiar with the traditional job board, and I will be talking about examples later on. Secondly, we have government mediated job boards. They look quite similar to traditional job boards, but these are operated by government agencies where the government will have verified job postings and added additional resources like labor market information, career planning tools, and employer subsidies for hiring programs. These will have a bit more due diligence done on the job search and job posting part. Lastly, we have professional networking platforms, combines job posting with networking opportunities. Users can build professional profiles, connect with industrial contacts, and leverage recommendations while exploring tailored job recommendations and recruiter outreach. Recruiters often reach out to you through these professional networking platforms. So, what are some examples of professional job search sites? We have traditional job boards such as Career Beacon, Monster, Workopolis, Indeed, Glassdoor, websites that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. Then we have some government mediated job boards such as jobbank.gc.ca and nbjobs.ca. Jobbank is a federal um, job site. For example, you will be able to find job opportunities in different provinces. NB Jobs is specifically contained to the province of New Brunswick. And for professional networking platforms, we have Indeed. So you can create a profile, upload your resume, connect with employers, and set job alerts on Indeed and have other people find you, as well as you can find what other people in your specific industry, in your specific network are looking for. Then we have employer sites. Are you interested in working for a certain company or organization? By checking their website for an employment or careers page, you can connect with an employer directly. And this allows you to share your interests with the company, share your resumes, and make a first connection. An employer is more likely to offer you an interview if they already know your name when you apply for a position. So, employer sites also ask that you do a bit of networking as well in order for your name to be more visible. You can find the careers or the employment page usually on the landing page of a company's website. Some employers will hire a separate company to lead the hiring process. These recruiters will accept applications, conduct interviews, and connect the applicant with the employer. When applying to a job posted by a recruiter, you may not know who the employer is until later in the process. If you don't have a preference for where you work, positions offered through recruiters may be a good option for you. Some recruiting companies are Global Talent, Smart Recruiters. A lot of the times, your profile on LinkedIn, on these professional networking sites, might might connect you with recruiters as they will be looking for individuals who might be in the sector that they work in. And then, how do we tackle this job search process? Now that I've talked about where to look for jobs, how do we ensure that while we're being effective with our search, we're also being as strategic as possible to maximize the time that we have, the resources that we have? So, from searching to strategizing. Now that we've explored job search sites, we'll move on to strategies like exploring alternative job titles, being selective with applications, and leveraging networking opportunities to find the right fit for you. What do we mean when we say alternate titles? When searching on a job bank website, make sure you try multiple titles for the position you're interested in. Some jobs will have similar responsibilities and required competencies but have a different name. An example of that could be admin assistant, office manager, office assistant, administrator, admin clerk, office clerk, secretary, administrative support. These are very different job titles, but they are essentially the same position, or the position requires the same set of core competencies that you might have. So being flexible with the titles that you use. Now, then we're asking you to be selective. While you can be flexible with the titles that you use and cast a very wide reaching net, we ask that you be selective in your job search process because you will be more successful. If you happen to be offered a job that you don't really want, you may end up having to leave that job and be back in your job search. Tailor your resume and cover letters to the jobs you really want. Quality is more important than quantity. We also understand that a lot of the times being selective is no longer an option. There might be circumstances outside of your control that demand that you take the first job that is available to you. And in those cases, it is understandable that you're not as selective. But still, if you have a career that you're passionate about, if there's something that you really, really would like to do in your professional career, in your professional journey, being selective allows you to have the time to tailor your resumes and cover letters for the jobs that you really want. Additionally, networking is another job search strategy that we recommend that you employ while looking for the job that you really want. Networking is a process of creating and nurturing professional relationships with individuals who can provide information, advice, and support related to your career or business goals. Keyword here being professional relationships. These are connections that you make, these are relationships that you build that are surrounded by the knowledge that this is a professional relationship that two individuals have. It involves connecting with people in your industry, community, or field of interest to share knowledge, experiences, and opportunities. Why do we recommend networking as something to employ when you are searching for a job? Networking opens doors to opportunities that you aren't always visible to and helps you build valuable connections. It's a key strategy for long term career success. I might have mentioned beforehand that a lot of the jobs have been moved online. That 60% of the jobs you will find are being posted online. But in smaller communities, in tight knit professional circles, a lot of job opportunities, job postings are shared internally, are shared at industry events, are shared at networking events where people would rather hire someone that someone in their professional world knows. And networking is a great way to discover those hidden jobs and learn from industry insiders, as well as building trust and relationships and getting referrals and recommendations. For example, you might network at a professional accounting conference, and the people that you meet with there do not have jobs available that people can apply for. But if you make strong enough connections and relationships with individuals there, if in the future they might have openings available and you are to apply for those opportunities, they might remember meeting you at these networking events and having a positive impression of you. That is most likely to get you a call back for an interview. Now, how to network. We've told you why networking is important and what networking actually is, but where can you network? To build these meaningful connections to grow your career, we recommend attending events, career fairs, conferences, and meetups. You can find opportunities like these on Eventbrite, on Facebook pages, or specific professional networking groups where they will mention when such events happen. Leveraging online tools. People on LinkedIn, Indeed, and alumni networks will talk about when there will be a networking opportunity, but also allow you to connect with them as well. Target key contacts. Reach out to hiring managers and HR professionals. This is a very important tool that needs to be utilized very strategically. If you're aware of a company that is open to hiring individuals and they have indicated on their website that you are more than welcome to send us a resume for when we have an open job opportunity, we will connect with you. We would recommend building that professional relationship. Offer value, support others to build strong relationships. This ties in with volunteering, meet people through community projects. Volunteering might not look like a completely professional opportunity, which might lead to a job search, but you might be able to meet individuals there that might offer value, might offer opportunities, might offer further connections that will allow you to grow in your job search. Join groups, professional associations, and clubs. If you're part of a regulated profession, if your background is for a specific topic, if your background is your interests are specific education, join groups, join professional associations, join community networks in your community that allow you to connect with the people in that specific group and use your network. Any event can be a networking opportunity. For example, if you're part of a specific ethno group, you might have religious festivals, you might have cultural festivals, meeting people there, talking to them about what you're looking for, what your professional goals are, might allow you to meet with professionals in other areas. Now, we've given you the tools and the hows and the whys of job search, but what does it mean to job search and what can you expect while you're on this process? As it says on the screen, job searching can be a journey. Staying patient and persistent is very, very important. The things that we recommend that you keep in mind as you are involved in this journey, that it is going to be a time investment. Applications, tailoring resumes, following up can take longer than expected. You might start this journey thinking, oh, I'll have a job in a month, but it might take longer than that, and that is completely normal. Always allow yourself extra time and grace when you are starting the job search process. Competition. Many roles have multiple applicants, so stand out by showcasing your unique strengths. There's a lot of things that we do that we don't consider as having given us any soft or hard skills. We think, oh, everyone does this. I might not stand out with this. But tailoring your resumes and your cover letters and making sure that how you portray yourself is unique allows you to rise above the competition and be successful. And lastly, but most importantly, rejections. Not every application will lead to an interview. Use the feedback to improve. I also understand that in a lot of the Canadian professional world and the Canadian job market, it sometimes feels like throwing your application into the sea and never hearing anything back. But if you can, if you're able to, if you are really, really passionate about a specific job opportunity, we do recommend that you reach out, for example, 2 weeks after you applied for a job, asking, I applied for a position. Please let me know if there's anything else you ask from me. I would love to hear back, something along those lines. And if they do reject you, keep that conversation going by asking them, please, can you let me know what areas of improvement I could have, among other things. Another thing to expect when job searching is realizing that there is a hidden job market. A lot of the opportunities are not posted, which means networking is crucial. As mentioned, you might talk to someone who might know someone at a specific company that might have a position opening up, for example, in a month that they might recommend you for. Opportunities to learn. Do not think of the process of job searching, the journey of job searching, to be unproductive. It is a learning opportunity. Researching roles and industries can expand your knowledge and refine your goals. And lastly, small wins. Each call, email, or interview is progress towards your dream job. That call might not be successful. That email might be unanswered. That interview might lead to rejection. But at least you got to that stepping stone. At least you achieved that small win. And that is very, very important because it allows you to be patient, be graceful, and be consistent with yourself through the job search process, which can be very, very daunting. Some final thoughts. Staying positive and consistent. It is a process, it is a journey. There's going to be highs and lows. You might walk 10 steps forward and 15 steps backwards, but staying positive and consistent will lead to positive results. And why we recommend doing that is it allows you to have some sort of grace, have some sort of feedback as you go through this journey. It doesn't feel futile. So apply even if you don't meet all of the qualification. Rejection is part of the process. A lot of the times you might meet some of the qualifications, but the ones that you do meet are more beneficial for the employer, so they might still end up hiring you. Treat LinkedIn like your resume. It is just as important. Make sure that it is used as a professional networking site. You're not posting everything there. You're making sure that you're tailoring your LinkedIn profile to know that employers might reach out to you through LinkedIn, that employers might check your LinkedIn profile when you apply to see the type of person that you are, what type of things that you post. Additionally, highlight soft skills alongside technical ones. A lot of newcomers in Canada come from professional worlds where technical skills are more important than soft skills. In the Canadian job market, soft skills are equally as important. Employers might look for individuals, or most likely will look for individuals that might not know how to do the job perfectly, but might be able to fit in the team better and be able to learn the skills needed, rather than individuals who know how to do everything but don't have the right attitude, the right soft skills, the right organizational and time management techniques needed to succeed in that workplace. And adapt to the changing job market. Be open to diverse opportunities and remote work options. The world is ever changing. With the advent of AI and everything moving online, things are going to look a lot different than what you might be traditionally used to. It is okay to adapt and change and be more diverse into what you're looking for. Prepare for video interviews and digital hiring processes. If you feel as if you do not have the digital skills necessary, there's quite a lot of information available online to help you navigate the digital world, help you navigate the video interview process. Refine and improve. Regularly update your resume and cover letters for better results. You do not want to appear as stagnant. Seek feedback to identify areas for improvement, as mentioned before. And lastly, take care of yourself. Job searching is a full time effort that requires you to be consistent and organized. It is very, very important that you take breaks and prioritize your well being. Constant rejection can lead us to a very dangerous path. It is very important to realize that rejection is part of the process, it is not a complete negative setback. And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day